All right, essential ingredient number 2 to getting six-pack abs is record keeping and controlling your portion sizes. One of the best ways to promote fat loss is actually to control your portion sizes. And studies shows that a lot of Americans are actually underestimating what they eat by up to 25%. In other words, they're consuming more food than they think, and that's why they're gaining weight and not losing weight. Now, when you talk about losing fat, there's a fine balance. You can't restrict your calories too much. There's too many diets out there that have you going on a really low calorie diet. The problem with that is that you end up burning muscle. You're not fueling your body enough, so you end up eating away muscle or burning muscle. And what that does is it makes your body, your metabolism actually slow down. Then when your metabolism is lower, you actually begin to store fat and you gain weight. So the problem with, again, restrictive calorie diets is you're not eating enough and you end up burning muscle. On the other hand, if you consume too much food, you're going to gain weight in the form of fat. So there's a real fine balance. You can't restrict your calories too much. You have to create a small caloric deficit, in which we'll show you how to do that in the My First Six Pack program, but it can't be too big of a caloric deficit to where you're burning muscle. So going back to portion sizes, a serving size isn't just the amount of food you put on your plate. You can't, put a big heaping spoonful of mashed potatoes and say that's one serving. That's not how serving sizes work. It's really defined by common measurements that you may be aware of, like cups or tablespoons, things like that. So that actually defines a serving size. And so in the My First Six Pack program, we'll give you a food serving size guideline so you can actually see and start to understand how much food you're actually putting in your body. And the second thing we want to mention is record keeping. That's just simply keeping a journal of what you eat. And again, most Americans are underestimating what they eat by about 25% because they don't track it. One of the most powerful ways you can one of the most powerful tools you can use in a fat loss program is a simple food journal, which we'll give you in the My First Six Pack program. And what that allows you to do is just write down everything you're eating, everything, all the calories you're putting in your body, not just your foods, but also your liquids, what you're drinking. And that'll help you keep track over a few days period as whether or not you're overeating or undereating or eating just right. And so with a food journal, also, it's recommended that you not wait until the end of the day and then write down all your foods, but actually write down your foods as you go along. So portion control, so really getting a good look at your portion sizes and also keeping track of what you're eating in the form of a food journal are just two more powerful techniques and the essential ingredient to getting six-pack abs that we'll have you follow in the My First Six Pack program.